What is up, party people? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we have another Yu-Gi-Oh video. This time, however, it is not going to be like a good, well, it is kind of good. It won't be like a competitive kind of deck where I have like 3 different videos kind of explaining how you can play it. This is specifically a deck for those who want to have fun with Skystriker and Eldlich in the same deck. So I won't be like going over every single card and telling you why you need this card in the deck or anything like that. I won't be doing that. For this video, I will just be going over the thought process when it came to making the deck, talking about why I have Sunny cards in here over other cards, and some of the cool texts and combos you could probably do, as well as stuff you might can replace if you don't want to use stuff that I have in. But before we get started, if you like the video, be sure to give me a like, comment, some subscribe, action, as I really do appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So first things first, let me talk about why I wanted to do this in the first place. Skystriker is a deck that enjoys having just one monster on the field, being Gray or Rose, and then linking off into any of the extra deck monsters, right? That's what Skystriker does. And they excel at out-resourcing your opponent and slowly but surely winning you away. Eldlich excels at making your opponent just not play the game. But they also have very good resource capability. They can just keep recycling their resources over and over and over again. And Eldlich, the Golden Lord, he specifically requires, while he's in the graveyard, he specifically requires you to send a spell of Chakra from your field to the graveyard in order to put a summon to the field, right? Skystriker cards like to be in the graveyard, well, spell cards, because they have a secondary effect where if you have 3 or more spells in the grave, you get another effect. So I was like, how about we combine the two? So that's how this deck was made. Let's get into the deck. Sarah? First things first, we have our hand traps. Bank Baylor, Maxi, Ash, Standard. I personally like having 2 of each every time with most of my decks, so standard. You don't have to run the hand traps you don't want to. Like I said, this is more of a fun deck anyway. If you're trying to bring it into ranked, then I recommend having these hand traps, but Next off, we have 3 Ray, because, you know, you kind of need Ray. Ray's very important. 2 rows, because in my Skystriker decks, I like running 2 rows, so 2 rows. You can get away with using 3 as well if you want to. Eldlich, I recommend 3. I only managed to pull 2, but I'll probably have 3. I know people don't like running 3 because 3s can be kind of bricky, but your entire deck is spell and traps. You can run 3. And plus, Eldlich gets banished real easily. I like having the third one because typically I had duels where they banished 2 of my Eldliches, but I had 1 left and I was able to clutch out wins with that one. So like, I don't know. I like having 3 personally, but personal preference. Next off, we have the Harpy's Feather Duster. Just to destroy back row. I like having back row move on my decks, at least of some kind. With this deck, I had to cut down on the back row removal a little bit because, well, this is literally 2 decks combined into 1. So, Hobbies is like the only thing you can really put in here. I guess you can run some of the Runics, I guess, but I didn't make this deck when the Runics was out. Next, we have Foolish Burial Goods for obvious reasons, so you can send one of your Spinal Traps to the grave. Most cases, you're gonna be sending one of the Eldlich cards, rather that's Sanguine or Hakwaro, and I never knew how to say his name. Hakwaro, or any of the other Eldlich traps. Probably not Conquistador because he's kind of useful, so he's a 1-of as well. But any one of them. This could give you easy access to your trap monsters, which then will give you access to your Eldlich with ease. Engage, because engage is engage. I don't need to explain what engage do. You know why you need engage. Maneuver afterburners. This is your, destruction, your monster destructions, and also non-target spell and trap card removal. 1 Elixir Black Awakening, mostly because it locks you into some of these zombies, and obviously your Skystrikers aren't zombies. So like, and since it's a spell card, you can activate it like, the moment you draw it. So I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea to have more than one of this, just because it will conflict heavily with your Skystriker engine. But I mean, you could just use this card at the end of your turn after you did your Skystriker stuff. But I don't know. I just don't think you should probably run it. And besides, even if you do have more than one, or if you only run one, you could just use this as fodder for like multi-roll or even Golden Lord. Or I guess even Field Spell. Speaking of Field Spell, next we had Field Spell. Now the Field Spell is what one of the texts is in. Is what one of the texts is for this deck. Sorry, I'm kind of sick, so like I apologize for like tripping up on words a little bit. I apologize, but the Field Spell here. Normally in a Skystriker deck, you're probably only running one of it, if any. But in this one, you want to have two. Why you want to? Well, it specifically says at the end here, if this card in the field zone is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, for someone Skystriker with Ace multiple your deck. Meaning, if you send via Eldlich here, that's a card effect, which means you can first summon a Ray or a Rose, which will then give you easy access to a Link 2 or who knows whatever else is on your board at that time. Link 3 maybe. You know, you got plays for days. You could do stuff. And that's why you have two of these. You not only will be able to use this effect to like see something cause your deck, you also be able to use this effect to bring out extra monster. Multi-roll, obvious reasons why you have this. Good card. I don't value it as much as other Skystriker players do, but it's a really good card. Cause Airland, strictly so you can search out your Eldlich, search out your traps, whatever. Makes sense. Forbidden Challenge, negates. I just like having challenge in most of my decks. That's a personal preference thing. Call by the Grave, obvious reasons. Mecha Hornet Drones, obvious reasons. It's a token. You can use them to make your Skystriker. It's essentially another Ray, or essentially another, like, any one of these. So. Widow Anchor, this is now up to 3, so you can put 3 in the deck, which I probably would do. I probably would put 3 in this deck. You probably could just take out one Shark Cannon or something. But obviously, Widow Anchor is a really good card. Shark Cannon, great card as well. Forbidden Droplet makes sense. Impulse makes sense. Now 3 Sanguine. But V, you literally said you only want one of the Awakening because it locks you into summoning zombie monsters. Sanguine does the same thing. Yes. Yes, it does. But you see, the difference here is with Sanguine, you gotta set it first, and you activate it on the next turn. I'm kidding. With Sanguine, it's just more versatile. You have more versatility with Sanguine because if your opponent uses Harpy Feather Duster, oh look, I activate Sanguine. You get your Eldlich out. You know? Versus if you have this set because you set it with like, you know, one of these guys, it gets Harpy Feather Duster, that's it. It just destroyed. I don't know. Sanguine's just better overall. I like Sanguine a lot. Highly recommend just having 3. It's just 3. That's an easy access to Eldlich. And if they Ash Blossom it, they Ash Blossom that and not your Kagari. Or your not Kagari, your Shizuku. Like, yeah. It's good. Or your Engage. It's really good. 1 Guardian, 3 Pukaro, and 1 Conquistador. The reason why I did these numbers, Guardian is really good, but it's really hard to make space in a deck like this. At least for me. Personally, I probably want 2 of him. You might get rid of 1 Sanguine, I guess. 2 of him. No, I wouldn't do that. See, that's a hard choice. I will probably want another one of him though. Just add +1 of him. And I don't know what I would take out though, to be honest. But I don't know. That's a tough one. I want to have like 2, 3, and 1, but that's kind of a tough one. Before we get into the extra deck, let me show you some other cards you can add in here. Eldlich. Some more cards you can add in. You can obviously add in the Counter Trap. Which, I'm gonna be quite honest, I think the only reason why I don't have this in the deck is because it requires me to have an Eldlich on the field. And since we are running a Skystriker deck, or Skystriker engine thing, like hybrid, if you have an Eldlich on the field, you can't use your Skystriker cards. So having Eldlich on the field would do more harm than good. I don't know. You could probably put it in here. You gonna say that about most of the fucking deck, like having any of these guys on the field would do more harm than good because if you have a fucking Skystriker deck. But it became a little. It's like another thing. It's like, what do I take out? You probably could take out an Impalm, I guess. I don't know. That's a tough one as well. I would definitely recommend having this if you can figure out a way to implement it into your deck. Definitely want this. It's a really good card. It's a counter trap. It's solid. Elixir White Destiny isn't horrible either. I personally don't run it, mostly because I haven't ran it in my Eldlich deck yet, so I'm kind of biased. Outside of that, that's probably all I would recommend running, at least on the Eldlich shit. Onto the extra deck now. Obviously, we have Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon. This is, again, obvious. It's a level 10, Eldlich level 10, make 2. That's 2k burn damage, easy. You can still attack. You attack, you make Zeus. Makes sense. Then you have your standard I'm about to say Guy setup. Then you have your standard Skystriker setup. Guy, your 3 Shizuku, 2 Hayate, 1 Kaina. We're gonna skip Phoenix for now. Zeke, your Celine, your access code. And now let's get into these 3, right? So first we're gonna talk about Apollosa. Apollosa I put in here because you can swarm the field. You can swarm the field. You can get a number of monsters on the field with ease with this deck. Meaning you can make Apollosa with ease. With just easily you can make Apollosa. Since it doesn't require any like effect monsters, it just needs different name monsters. You can have Eldlich, Ray, Rose. Like for example, let's say you have a way to summon Eldlich, right? You summon Eldlich, you normal summon Ray, you special summon Rose. You activate one of these or two of these trap cards. Boom. That's 5 monsters you have now. That's a big fucking Apollosa right there. Next we have Goddess. Goddess for similar reasons, you can get a lot of monsters on the field at once. And it don't need to be like different name as well. It's just gotta be, 4 effect monsters. So you can get like Ray, Rose, get like Eldlich, and fucking just like use a Sanguine to get another Eldlich, or use fucking one of these to steal a monster. You can get 4+ monsters on the field with ease and use the opponent monster to link off. And then we have Nightmare Phoenix. Now this is mostly for the back row removal, because again we don't really have back row removal here. You can change this to like one of the Charmers. You probably could change it to like the light Charmer, since Eldlich is a light monster. So you might could just use change it to him or her. So that way you can kind of have an easy way to make Celine / access code. But I don't know. I don't know if I would do that, just because again we don't have back row removal, and having that back row removal I think is kind of valuable. But yeah, that's basically the deck. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys like it, and yeah, that's for the video. And yeah, hope you guys like it. That's it for the video. Hope you all enjoy. And as always, take care and peace. Bye bye.